Hello, and welcome to the Introduction to SalesManager Part 3, Pricing for Document Conversion Project Continued. This section covers imaging services. My name is Kevin Williams. I'm the owner of SRIA Technologies, and I will be walking you through the Introduction to SalesManager today. SalesManager is designed to be a complete cost model, pricing model, and project estimating tool for service bureaus and records management businesses. First off, SRIA is an acronym for Scan, Store, Retrieve, Index, Integrate, and Archive, the 6 base elements of the records management industry. SRIA Technologies is a consulting firm catering to the document and records management industries and service bureaus. To reset where we left off with the previous video, we had discussed the goal and focus of SalesManager and had entered a project inventory and project services. So to quickly review, the primary goal and purpose of SalesManager is to facilitate a business to ensure that all cost drivers are accounted for during the pricing phase for a project, both software implementation and document conversion. A cost driver is defined as any product, service, action, activity, or effort that has some cost to your firm attached to it that is required to process and deliver a project to your client. And I would follow that statement up with saying, any cost driver missed during the cost creation phase is a cost not recouped by your firm during the pricing phase. SalesManager is a tool to help provide standardization and repeatability for your sales process. This in turn provides for a stable foundation and process for training and evaluating your sales staff without having to do everything yourself. Incorporating SalesManager into your sales process can provide new salespeople with intelligent guidance, step-by-step sales processes, and complete lists of company products and services. This enables newly hired sales reps to be productive in weeks versus months. Let's take a quick look where we left off with the inventory section. Our example project is scanning and indexing for records from the county clerk's office. We have deeds on 16mm microfilm, and we have deeds index books on sewn books. This project is for January of 1951 to December of 1984. Let's take a quick look at the project services section. We selected to do an inventory for 16mm roll film. The reason for the formal inventory was due to a discrepancy between the roll film series and the actual physical number of rolls of film. And also because of this discrepancy, the customer requested an SLA2 analysis on the 16mm roll film, as noted here in the film review area. Next, let's take a look at the imaging services section. Imaging services accounts for 4 major areas: volume edits, automated imaging services, manual imaging services, and stapling and indexing services. First, let's take a look at volume edits. And this is an important note about SalesManager. This is the only area or step within SalesManager where the total number of images, records, instruments, or documents is edited. If, through the selection of a manual or automated imaging service, here in volume edits, the total number of images or records is changed, that new total number is carried throughout all remaining steps and phases within SalesManager. You see here the full profile for each inventory item. I will simply locate the required volume edit and select the percentage for that item for processing. However, let's show how a variation might affect this process. Let's say that during the customer interview, you were made aware that there is a series within the roll film that has 2-up formatting and a heavy black border. And the client requests these issues to be remediated. You were told that this series is during rolls 235 to 310 for years 1962 to 1967. With the need to be very specific with your pricing for these services, you want to edit your inventory to be more specific. Let's go to the inventory screen and make a couple of changes. Item 1 is now going to become items 1 through 3. We will break up the existing item 1 to accommodate isolating the special processing needs for the 2-up formatting and heavy black borders. So first, item 1 will become rolls 16 through 234. You will confirm 219 physical rolls for the series. date range now will read from January 1 of 1951, and it will end at December 30 of 1961. Item 2 now becomes deeds and 16mm roll film. The date range now will start at 1962 and will end at December 30 of 1967. The series, as noted, will be 235 to 310. You will confirm 76 physical rolls for this series. This series continues with 4,200 average frames per roll and 2 pages per instrument for deeds. We now have an item number 3, and this will be deeds. Again, 16mm roll film. But now the date on this will begin in January 1 of 1968 and will end with the original date of 12/30/1984. This series will be 311 to 789. And we will note that we have confirmed only 475 physical rolls for this series. This reconfirms the missing 4 rolls from the initial inventory, and this also reveals a more specific area where the 4 roll discrepancy is located. Again, this series continues with the 4,200 frames per roll and 2 pages per deed record. We also now have an item number 4, which is our original deeds index books. So we will go to deeds index, sewn books, the original date range of 1/1/1951 to December 30, 1984. The book series of 37 to 199. We will confirm 163 physical books for this series, 650 pages per book, and 1 page per record. These pages are for indexing reference and not for public access and viewing. Let's go to the details area and update for the new inventory items. We will update the entries to reflect item 2 now having the 2-up formatting issue. None of the other items have any issues to be noted here. Now let's return to imaging services and volume edits. Item 2 now rolls 235 to 310 was identified as being filmed with 2-up formatting. So here I will enter manual 2-up image separation for item number 2 and set that at 100% based on customer information. You will notice the displayed increase in the total number of images. I select manual 2-up separation based on the profile of these images, as they cannot be processed accurately with automated services. Later in the project analysis area, the work effort for manually separating these images will be assigned, and thus creating the cost of goods for this cost driver. There are no known volume edits required for items 1, 3, or 4, so we will move on to area 3B, automated imaging services. Here in automated imaging services, we have a list of various types of services. Remember, as always, this is a demo version for SalesManager, and these lists are generic. This list will be customized for your needs. The reason for this area existing is primarily to reflect and compensate for the professional services required for project setup and monitoring for the machine-driven automated services. Later on into SalesManager, we will review the work effort calculations and the included processes that will quantify and account for the human intervention for the automated services and the cost of goods or cost drivers associated. We will select cropping, deskew, and despeckle for these items. For time purposes, I have pre-entered the services for items 2 and 3. Next, we go to Section 3C, Manual Imaging Services. In this area, we focus on services that reference human-powered processes where an imaging services specialist will be physically viewing images on a monitor and editing these images in some fashion. We will say that the client did inform us that they request that all of the item number 2 images be processed with manual border cropping. With client instruction, we will estimate 100% of these images will be processed. Items 1, 3, and 4 were not noted as requiring any additional manual imaging, so we will now move on to Section 3D, Stapling and Indexing. Document stapling refers to identifying the first and last page for each record or document and then electronically stapling these images together. The output of this process will be, upon searching for a specific record or document within an electronic document management system, the precise and exact images for each record or document will be viewable. Currently, SalesManager has options for automated stapling, including barcode separator sheets, barcode labels, forms recognition, and similar. Additionally, manually marking the first page of each document is always available. Within SalesManager, in this demo version, indexing will be synonymous with data entry, metadata creation, and similar. As we look at the descriptions for each item, you will see that the total number of images, estimated pages per record, and the estimated total number of records is displayed. For item 1 indexing, I will select Min Indexing Type 1. You will see that when the service is selected, its definition is displayed. Each indexing definition will have an assigned performance matrix or quota. This allows you to standardize your work definitions and cost of goods, thus standardizing your pricing exercises. Because we will be looking at images from roll film, and there are no good automated ways to staple scanned microfilm images, we will select Manually Mark First Page of each new document for the document creation method. As items 2 and 3 are a continuation from item 1, we will enter the same profile for both items 2 and 3. For the index books, here's where the indexing can be priced to a very granular level. First, we will select Index Book Indexing Type 1 for this exercise. Because we know that each page from these books averages 50 linear lines of data, I will enter 50 in the Index Book's lines per page field. You will see the calculated number of lines of data displayed. Now, because we understand that the information being captured from each line of index data is going to be a grantee and a grantor, we will enter an average of 40 keystrokes per each linear line of data from the index books. This now displays the estimated total number of keystrokes for this portion of the indexing, or over 211 million keystrokes. Let's take a quick look at admin, wizards, and manual indexing. Here we see both the benchmark and standard performance matrix for high-speed data entry. This is where the cost per keystroke will be generated. In a following video, we will go over the assignments section and see how the cost of goods for each service is created. Now let's return to sales, imaging services, and stapling and indexing. This concludes Part 3 for the Introduction to SalesManager. Please see Part 4 for System Sales, Hardware and Software. SalesManager is best included into a business management solution that includes Memoran for hosted automated proposals and Be Productive systems for FDA and DoD compliant hosted conversion production management tools. And I thank you for your time.